All right. Hey, the Canadian's the person with the best like perspective of everyone at the end of the day. If you can't trust Canada, who can you trust? I swap over and then an ad immediately plays. Well, that was unfortunate timing. Um, for those that are, for those that aren't blocked by the ads, welcome back to session 2. We're at session 2, guys. Supposedly. I never can confirm, you know. To catch up to where we all are, the party had arrived at Eraheim only to have been questioned what happened in the mountains outside the city, which would be Frost Peak Summit. You can kind of see it on the map. I realized that I spent a lot of time on this map and then I didn't actually show it to you guys last time, so I really wanted to like fix that. The mountains outside the city is Frost Peak Summit. Within the same day of being questioned what had happened, you were approached by a rebel by the name of Mirage, saying that you had all been marked, and they were paying you for the completion of a mission that you had supposedly done while on the train. After you had come clean and were honest about everything, it was figured out that the mission was assigned to a different agent, but you were still marked. And had still actually ended up completing the job. The next day, after you had talked to Mirage, you went back and talked to Garrick, who was the commander of the guard, who had not so gently requested your assistance in finding out the heart of the rebels, and they wanted you to play a double agent. If you didn't want to play a double agent, he was ultimately giving that to your choice. That was ultimately going to be your guys' choice, but he did make it known that it would be a crime to work with him without the intent to turn them over. The party had then made a discussion about what they were going to do moving forward. They had met Billy, the unknown entity that works in Torque's tech shop, and now the party is currently in the lower city of Eraheim. You had talked about going back and confirming with Mirage, but you weren't heading over in that direction yet. You just told Mirage that you'd meet up with him again today. It's like, well, great job playing today, guys, but clearly we cannot beat that high. So wrap it up. Let's head on home. What? Which uh all right, yep, you can go to here. Let me just put like a random spot on the map, which isn't random, but it does require me to flip a page in my notebook. I have this really hey, it's important information. All right, I have this really nice graph paper that I use for like sketching out maps, and then I just don't translate the information onto Incarnate for whatever reason. Um, I really should, but yeah. Back to the point. Yes. Torque can bring the party around the shops. Um, the lower city isn't quite as fancy as the upper city is, and what that means is that there are a lot more just working class tools. You can find a lot of shops for repairing just everyday work tools like picks, shovels, rakes. etc., as well as a couple of adventuring shops. A lot of people trying to sell equipment to go into to be able to venture into the mine. Up at the top left, there's this mine, which people are specifically gearing adventurers to go towards. And to find your riches in the depths of Eraheim, and very strongly like trying to market random people that think that they can be an adventurer to like gear up, buy at their shop, and head on over there. Well, since you wanted to mention it, up by this mine, there is a mausoleum and a supposed necromancer. What? No. No. This is horrible. Why are you like this, OBS? Why? I tested before. Oh, I sound like a crazy person. Why are you like Oh no. Okay, 1 second. I see now that it's not picking up, but it was picking up earlier. OBS just isn't picking up Discord. That's really just it, and I don't understand why. Yeah, that's good to know. Must be because my my upload and download speed isn't being like used to make your guys' voices work. That's what it says. Okay, could you guys try to say something?
Hello.
Howdy.
Okay. All right.
We
it
be
works, I think.
testing. We be testing. All right, sounds like it's going through now.
All right, I'm gonna turn you guys down because I didn't have a limiter set up, so I'm gonna set this limiter up real quick. So that like
All right.
if you guys laugh, it doesn't just
I'm free.
deafen people.
My wife just confirmed that our audio is working.
Okay.
And yes,
feel
I
like-
will say it like that every time.
Thank
Mostly
you
when I
very
laugh
much for
loud
your
enough.
assistance. Thank you for letting us know that we were just talking to the ether, and a bunch of people thought I was crazy.
At least they were quiet about it.
Billy's origin
So
story.
they're
Good for him.
polite.
Billy's origin story. At least now I have a reason to make another Boles Boys joke because the first one wasn't heard by stream.
Oh.
I'm just so glad that none of my mad ramblings were picked up on stream yet. So I'm safe.
Yet.
Yet.
And that's Yuri's descent into madness arc.
All right. Okay, sorry about that. You guys should be visible now. To catch up the party, to catch up on what the party was talking about. They were discussing what they were going to what they were going to be doing, and they were talking about visiting a couple shops. And yeah, I don't remember the rest of it actually because I have horrible memory issues. I mean, I don't. I just.
It's
don't
fine. I think
remember.
that was very accurate, and I definitely
Yeah,
didn't say
that's-
anything stupid.
Yeah, there was something about arrow tipped with fingernails, and then like, is there a place to get fingernails? And that would be the mausoleum.
How did I forget that already happened?
I completely missed that part.
Me
Because I think
too.
I was deafened when that happened.
All right. Thank you, Ria, for catching that and for letting TK and through proxy the rest of us know. It would have been very awkward if I listened back to the VOD and there just wasn't anyone there.
Only slightly awkward.
Okay. All right.
Then we could get a YouTube video with you pretending to be us. I would love to watch a video of Zeno trying to do an impression of the rest of us.
I don't think that's a great idea. I can't make puns like you can. I don't have the capacity for that.
It comes with years of practice.
Well, I know we're all-
Much punishment must be endured.
I know we're all shopping for different things. Zeno, some people are looking for fingertips in the mausoleum or something along those lines. What Torque is looking for is nitroglycerin. Or if lacking that, the ingredients to make nitroglycerin.
Man.
Would you settle for a smoke grenade?
I know we've been talking about how this is set in more technological times, so now maybe some explosive ingredients might be available. I have a pretty cool idea if I can find some.
Is nitroglycerin even like explosive?
Oh yeah, very explosive.
Yeah.
It's the active ingredient in dynamite, the unstable version. It can explode on impact instead of having to be lit with a fuse.
Ooh.
Isn't
You
it
sound
a
ready to commit some
medicine?
war crimes.
No.
Nitroglycerin?
It's an oily explosive
Oh,
liquid.
that's a medicine that belongs to nitrate. Nitroglycerin.
How do you spell it?
NITROGLYCERIN.
Yeah,
Huh.
there's two different types of things. I guess that are also spelled nitroglycerin. This is the spelling that I'm looking for.
Okay, I was just thinking of like the medicine, I guess.
I guess they're pronounced. They might be pronounced the same. But yeah, dynamite is an explosive made of nitroglycerin.
Why is a chest pain medication
Wait,
named after an explosive substance? What?
no idea. No, I mean, I guess like if you explode, you don't have any chest pain? Don't know?
Yeah. Sounds about right.
It would be one thing if they
No,
wanted
it's-
your heart to
It's using
explode.
explosives and a pharmaceutical agent. It's literally both. What the hell?
What?
It's the
So-
same thing. That's
It is the same
crazy.
thing.
Yeah, okay.
Once again, we're learning so much.
Nitroglycerin belongs to the group of medicines called nitrates.
So
What?
in small doses, when intaken, it can expand the blood vessels. When used in large doses, non-stabilized, it's an explosive.
Interesting.
Can you imagine picking up your meds and getting the wrong nitroglycerin?
And that's how we get My Hero Academia.
Yeah, I was gonna say it sounds like a
Wow.
superhero origin story. Just a really lame one.
Well, today on the Elysium stream, we find out.
You're super for 5 seconds before you explode.
Y'all remember
Edward Cullen
You-
drank that nitro, and now he can make explosions with his sparkles, and that's how we got Bakugo.
You guys remember Dumb Ways to Die? This is just that.
Oh my god.
2-week-old unrefrigerated pie.
Oh my god.
Dumb
Kids I
ways
watch
to
love that song.
die.
It's always in my
So
head.
many dumb ways to
Yeah.
die. Sorry, Dream, for the damage you have just incurred to your hearing. I'd apologize
That's
to my
great.
fellow players, but they deal with this on a regular basis, so it's fine.
No, there's a
But
streamer
nah.
that I actually watch that has it as a sound alert. It's
Sweet.
great. It's great.
Brilliant.
Uh,
Oh, please tell me it plays the Dark Souls "You Died" theme every time in the background too.
It's a good one.
okay, so you want nitroglycerin, right, Torque?
Nitroglycerin component used in dynamite. Dynamite used in mines.
Okay, I think it's gonna be like, this is where I'm just gonna ask. You want to make dynamite, right?
No,
No.
I'm trying to
He
make.
wants
I
to
know,
put it
okay,
in
I-
his cannon.
I could just reveal my plan to you now, I guess.
Well, you
I'm-
don't have to, but I don't know what to like. You could keep it reserved. I'm just trying to help you, and I don't know what the hell
I'm
you're
trying to make
do.
it. I'm basically trying to make an impact grenade.
Okay. All right.
Something that would explode on impact that doesn't need to be lit beforehand. A nitroglycerin is
There
unstable.
is a grenade, a frag grenade, and a grenade launcher item.
All right. I'm gonna
True.
say that yeah, you have yeah, you're an artificer. You're like used to making like weird type of things. I'd say that you could probably find the raw ingredients to make it.
Sweet. How much money?
I don't know, man.
Let's
Does
look
that
up
mean I get
nitro.
it for free?
They like the cut of they love the cut of your jib, and so they
If
give
I
it to
give
you
you
for
free
free.
prices.
grenades, because I can like find me some nitroglycerin. I mean, like, sure, I'll take it.
You just name
Like-
dropped Billy, and they were like, "Oh, Billy, okay, yeah."
Oh, Billy, he needs some more
Oh, hey,
nitroglycerin.
Billy.
I'll ship it pronto.
I'd say like maybe.
Is he making green crates again?
Because I don't know what it'll cost you, I will say that it'll cost like it seemed, I don't know, it's one-time use. It's pretty effective. You have to make it. I'll probably say that when you make it, you have to make a skill check to make sure that you successfully make it.
Ooh,
Otherwise,
yeah.
depending upon what your results are, it will either not work or it will explode at random times that aren't predicted by you.
Oh, that's crazy.
It seems to be, yeah, the base grenade. I could augment it. Let's say
Can I dip some of
3
my
gold at the
arrows in
moment.
nitroglycerin?
3
Oh,
gold per grenade in materials requiring skill check for use. Sounds cool to me.
I will probably adjust it once I like know how much a grenade should cost, because 3 gold could be a lot or a little. But you know, for this session, let's say 3 gold.
Cool.
Is your gold or is it like copper substitute?
5 times. Yeah, that'll be
I was
15
thinking
gold
that
for
that's
5.
actually a fair point. I would imagine it's gold. Because otherwise there'd be like shaving scandals of some sort.
I thought you were gonna say shavings account. I was like,
We
what?
single-handedly begin inflation by shaving gold off of our gold coins. We've been
Imagine
back
that's how they
for
pay dividend. They just shave a gold bar and give you the little dust.
Sweet. All right. 5 grenades, nitroglycerin.
Oh man, my brain. I don't know where
May
I'm.
I dip some arrows in your stock of nitroglycerin, please?
It's not.
My good sir.
I can definitely think about tipping your arrows with explosives. Yes.
What
Yes,
happens?
please.
Dipping, no. Tipping, yes.
What happens,
Hell yes.
Ash, is if Kailash dips the arrows in nitroglycerin, there's a 50% chance that when an arrow hits, it'll either treat them of their chest pain or explode. And we flip a
You
coin.
shoot them in the chest and it cures their heart disease and then blows them up.
You either heal them or they die.
No, you do both. You heal
do
them
both.
and
Kill
then
them
they
and then they die.
See, whenever
It's
we
a perfect cure.
Oh my god.
You were cured of the issue, and then you didn't live long enough for it to come back.
permanent solution. But yeah, I guess whenever we next have downtime, let me know and I'll start making some sketchy saving checks to prevent myself from exploding so I can use it for this cool idea I had.
Can I firebolt the arrows as they hit his target to make an even bigger explosion?
Well, once the nitroglycerin explodes, it's already exploded. The reason why you need
But
a
would it
fuse
would
for
it
dynamite is you stabilize it.
explode
What-
unprompted? Like it can explode without any external like trigger, I guess is the word. Like you don't have to light it. Just blows up.
So nitroglycerin is a very unstable explosive, but it doesn't just randomly explode. Though it did have like it was infamous for that, but it was more because people weren't being careful with it. If
Right.
if it suffers a sharp impact, that can be enough to set off the explosion.
Oh, that's sick. Okay, never mind.
Very dangerous. So I'm messing around with some very dangerous stuff, which is why Xeno's having me make some pretty crazy checks to maintain my explosivity. But
I mean,
there's a
no
good
one
reason I want
said-
to explode impact. So
No one said how difficult the checks were going to be, just that you were going to have to make checks.
fair.
They could
Fair.
be easy.
Can I dip my armor in nitroglycerin?
That turned out great. Also, I don't think it's a liquid. I think it's more like a powder.
Yeah, isn't that what
Yeah.
Nobel got his prize
Yes.
for? Because he patented nitroglycerin
So
and
the
dynamite?
origins of the Nobel Prize go all the way back to the literal guy named Nobel who made dynamite by figuring out how to stabilize nitroglycerin. Because before dynamite, people were just using raw nitroglycerin, and it's a very dangerous thing to do.
Hey, Shade has a question. What are we blowing up?
Enemies. At some point in the future, maybe. I don't know. I make explosives. If the company shows up again, then I have something to throw at them.
Can we make chains out with like nitroglycerin embedded in the in the chain links, and then if somebody tries to escape, it just blows them up?
The problem is they could be
My God.
uncomfortable and like shift their weight and also blow up. I
They
mean,
should have known better.
I am.
What are they
Genuinely
thinking? Moving around
terrified.
with such an unstable substance covering them.
You can't move. You can just cast Misty Step to move forward and backwards. You can't walk.
It's a great way to reduce your enemy's spell slot.
To answer the tipped arrows, though, I'd say that you can buy tipped arrows, like depending upon what type of tipped arrows you want. Like there's a lot of different types of tipped arrows, I'd imagine. I don't have a lot prepped, but I would say that you could buy tipped arrows that has some like minor magical effect. Like you can buy arrows that deal fire damage instead of piercing damage, or you can buy arrows that release a small cloud of fog.
Okay,
Things like
awesome.
that.
And he have an arrow that is a shovel.
What?
What? I want to see where this goes. Please continue. Let him go.
Nothing, just
Let
the
him-
imagery of Kailash shooting a shovel. We were talking about mines earlier, and I was just like,
I mean,
that's how he digs. He just repeatedly fires the shovel.
You could buy an arrow that deals bludgeoning damage. Call them
Could-
like hammerhead arrows, I guess.
Could he get a shovel
arrows.
and then Torque gives him repeating shot, and so he keeps firing the same shovel as it.
This sounds insane, but in a world with Billy, is anything really that insane?
I'm sorry. I'll shut up.
No, you're all good.
I mean, I already gave you like a spell focus for your Eldritch Blasts. I mean, isn't that explosive enough?
Which I very much appreciate. Thank you very much. +1 is the best.
Yeah, I don't know what type of arrows Kailash is looking for, but I'd say probably 5 gold per 20 arrows. And a magical arrow has and like a fire arrow would have a 50% chance of breaking. A one-time use arrow like a smoke arrow would guarantee break.
Okay.
So like if you want a fog cloud arrow, that 100% chance of breaking because it releases fog upon impact and like the ball that's holding the fog shatters. But unless it like includes shattering as like a component to make it work, I'd say it has a 50% chance of breaking and 5 gold for 20 arrows.
Awesome. Okay, cool. I will take that.
Okay. And then I'll just I'll make a list of like more advanced magical arrows as the party gets richer.
Okay, cool. I guess yeah, I'll DM you out of session too, and maybe we can just brainstorm some arrow ideas or some shit like that.
Yeah, and some arrow types that you like become like the jack of all trade that just has an arrow for everything.
Exactly.
Become Hawkeye. Did anybody else want to purchase things? Did Shade actually like want to purchase fingernails, or was that like?
No, I think they thought that Kailash wanted to purchase fingernails for some reason, so they have no
Okay.
material desires at this time.
Okay, all right, that's good because I would not even know how to handle that.
I want a Boles voice.
All right. Anybody else trying to purchase anything?
Can I get a ramen bowl with wheels on it?
What?
What?
I don't think there's a rationale behind it. Do you just want a ramen bowl with wheels on it?
I could give it to Shade, and it's a Boles voice.
If you give me 5 gold, I'll build.
Oh
a
my
bowl with
god.
Oh
TK.
my god.
Sorry, I said I'd shut up.
I missed something.
So glad that my mic can't pick up certain levels of laughter. Yeah, there it is.
So is that a yes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? Who
take
am
it.
I to stop you?
It could come in handy. It'll just be like instead of like several
We
ball
need
bearings,
two
it'll
of
just be,
them.
like one big ball bearing, you know?
We need 2 of them, one for each foot.
True.
Using like roller skates.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Nah, not roller skates, Heelys.
Oh.
Retractable wheels on my ramen bowl. Sign me up.
Hey, some hand can ride in the Boles voice.
Oh hell yes.
Shit.
You know what? That makes them even more handy.
We need to give some hand a firearm to hold so they can like just go gunslinger while they're riding in this chariot constructed out of
Could I give-
bowls and retractable wheels.
Can I give some hand my hand crossbow?
Give some. He can't fire. He's a hand, not like 2 hands.
What if
Actually, you know what?
I give up my enhanced arcane focus in exchange for repeating shot?
Dear God.
This is inevitable, isn't it?
Hey, I wouldn't have thought of it if Ash hadn't given me the inspiration. And if Chris hadn't given me the inspiration.
Man, I thought you were a Sorlock. You're supposed to cast Eldritch Blast. What is this? Now we're building ramen bowls with wheels and giving some hand enhanced crossbows. I mean, I don't even know.
Not gonna
what
lie,
kind
when
of
you said a
weird-
firearm, a gun wasn't what I thought. I genuinely thought you meant an arm of
Oh my
fire, just
God.
because of
I
the
mean,
tangent
oh
you've
my
been on
It's
today.
it's a grenade launcher, but instead of regular grenades, it shoots fish-shaped grenades.
I mean, you could make a some hand tip arrow.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my god.
It's like a boxing
enemy
glove
would grab
arrow,
them.
but better.
It's like a
You
boxing
fire an arrow and then it tries to strangle.
It's a
I'm-
grappling arrow. They have to pass an opposed athletics check at disadvantage.
That's so funny. The idea, it is like, it looks exactly like a boxing glove arrow, so the opponent is like expecting a punch in the face, and at the very last second, it just starts to choke them out.
It's flying straight, and then the hand just comes off and throttles them.
Oh my goodness.
What has this conversation been? Where are we? What are we doing?
What are we?
Well, I was trying to
I'm
find some
so sorry.
explosives, but that was like a little tame, so we went off the rails a little.
Just
Yeah,
a little.
Okay, so how I'm gonna say is that like some hand can fire one arrow unless like a player like reloads the arrow for him. We got the ammunition arrow prepped. Torque has bought explosives.
How about a
but has not made
compromise?
them.
Can I give Kailash repeating shot by loaning him subhand?
Actually, wait, like with one second, let me look at that. That's actually a very interesting idea. That's an interesting idea. I want to look at that.
You need a free hand to reload. So this will let him use
It's
the
a
sword
free
and a
hand. You gave it to him for free.
I would actually like yes, some hand can load the crossbow for Kailash.
Hell
is
yes.
actually hype.
shield. Brilliant.
I would say that it will probably be limited like by the amount of times it can reload per turn, but it can reload once per turn guaranteed.
Should we explain to
Brilliant.
the audience that's watching what some hand is and where he came from?
No.
Probably good.
Excellent. Leave it as a mystery.
No, okay, that's fine too.
No, we can explain some hand.
Can we at least get him on screen?
Yeah.
Get him up here.
We can explain some hand. I don't know, TK, do you want to explain him? He's like your victory.
Oh yeah, so we were in the hallway fighting some animated armors in a town full of robots while we were investigating. And I think I landed like a crit or something on one of them and ripped off its hand.
Yep.
And then I kept it as a souvenir. It was great.
Well, I mean, it's literally your familiar now.
It will be in one level, but I could take another level in Warlock.
Yeah, so yeah, some
Oh, man.
people choose like a cute animal as their familiar, like a fruit bat, or something along those
Or
lines.
like an
Yuri's
owl,
like,
get that
nah.
flyby. No, I just want a hand.
I want a
A
disembodied
dismembered
hand.
floating hand. Yeah, exactly.
I like to think we're just standing in the town square having this unhinged conversation, and people are walking by and staring at us.
I promise I'm the reasonable one.
That has not been my impression this session.
I'm the most normal, I swear.
Yeah, more or less. I am Wednesday Adams as a tiefling.
Yeah.
With the hand. You gotta do
Honestly,
the
I'm also
weird
still stuck on
dance.
ramen rolls with wheels.
I think I need you to learn how to animate and then and animate Yuri doing the Wednesday. Please.
Oh hell yeah, on it.
That's what happens whenever Yuri is under the effects of Otto's irresistible dance. It's the only dance
I can't
Yuri knows to
wait
do.
until I'm level 3, and then I forget what level Big B's hand is, but yeah, I just want all the hand spells.
Bring in Big Brother. Some hands, Big Brother. All All right.
I apologize again for the massive derail. Please, by all means.
Oh no, this is a team effort at this
Yeah.
point.
We all work together here.
Yeah, like I can't even like really say that it's derailing either, because like we've never been on the rails. Like,
Yeah, we never started on the
True.
rails.
Yeah, we did kind of get off the track once we got here. So
You know,
the
Hey.
train is at the station and we have left it behind.
where are we? Purchases have been made.
this has been our dicking around in the town square time. Really.
Yes.
Like this is what we came here for.
All right. The party has learned so much about Eraheim.
Yes.
We have explosives and magical hands.
Everything anyone could ever want.
I'm really hoping we leave Eraheim for a little bit. We come back and you just see everybody with ramen bowls with wheels on their feet. There's floating heads everywhere. Got nitro arrows in the mines.
Yo,
It's the new fashion
Billy
style.
just stole all our ideas. and
feel a
marketed-
revolution.
Mass manufacture the ideas. It's like, that's a good idea. Let's do that. Okay, yeah, the party has been shopping. Like, some people have been steering clear because you're weird.
Nah.
But yeah, you got what you needed from the shops. You got some basic equipment and some not so basic equipment. That Torque will hopefully not kill the party with. But we'll see.
I'm sure it'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
I would
Just
like to
unstable
mention.
explosives.
I would like to mention that even if the roll is successful, I will have you roll when you throw it, almost like wild magic sorcery, to see how big the explosion is.
Ooh,
So,
I'll
like,
take it.
Yeah, results
Big.
will vary. So, like, you know, be careful with if
Yeah.
you throw it where there's an ally nearby.
Can it be a dud and then I blow it up with a firebolt?
If it's a dud, then yeah, actually.
Hell yeah.
Hey,
We have
man.
backup strats. Let's do this.
Now we got to find someone to test this on.
The town,
What's
like,
good?
there's now a very large opening after you mentioned that.
Not
People
here,
are giving you a
obviously.
lot of space.
they open a path for us straight into the vines.
Look, yeah. You only test explosives on evil people. Easy. And how do you know if they're evil? Intelligence check. That's all you need. Insight, nah. Intelligence. Math.
3.
You have to do a religion check to see if they're evil or not.
Just go like full Two-Face. Just flip a coin. If it's tails, they're a bad guy.
We're not quite
Okay.
there
Oh,
yet.
you know what?
You know?
Thinking about it, nature would be the perfect check.
I have
Actually,
a -1
yeah.
religion. despite
Human
being a
nature?
cleric.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm gonna save that for when I next play a druid. I want to make a human nature check. I'm gonna
Don't,
we're
don't,
not doing it.
don't ask to make it.
We are part of nature. So
Don't ask if you can make a performance or a persuasion check. Demand to make an animal handling check.
There you go.
oh man, that would be so good.
It's like, all right, you're trying to persuade the guards to go the other way. Make a performance check. No, and just roll animal handling.
It's like the werewolf meme.
Oh,
okay.
speaking of, can I be a werewolf?
Wait, what?
Wait,
Like
what?
on top of everything else.
Okay, like ramen bowls,
just
wheels.
out of the
Oh,
blue.
okay.
I was watching an optimization video and it was like lycanthropy is broken. And then they proceeded to explain why, and I was like, wow, that is broken.
I mean, yeah, it's a werewolf. It's like a CR3 monster for a reason.
You don't just have to be a werewolf. You could be a werebad, a werebear, like.
Okay, I've always wanted to ask, and since you just watched the video on lycanthropy, I'm sure you know. If you're a moon druid, and you moon druid into a spider, but you're also a werewolf, does the spider
You are
turn
a
into
were
werewolf?
spider.
Do you become a wolf spider?
But that's just a thing. Wolf spiders are just a thing.
It's just a thing.
Exactly. Now we know where they come from.
I think you
No,
could
it's all
easily
off
make the
topic now.
case for being a spider the size of a wolf.
You can't bring facts and logics into our D&D game, Chris.
Get out of here.
You also have to have a level in Moon Sorcerer, though.
Moon
Lunar
sorcerer?
sorcerer.
Moon sorcerer?
Lunar Sorcerer.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
That way you can just like summon a full moon.
Basically. Moonbeam!
Okay, all right. I suppose for optimization reasons, there may be a were creature.
Okay.
It was
Yeah, I
it was a
guess.
joking request. I should have clarified. But I appreciate your openness.
Well, there's were ravens in the game now. Like you can't
To
take
be
it back.
fair,
It's
be
the Billy
fair,
effect. If you
you
mention Billy,
would.
he exists.
you would ask that in all seriousness.
But what does Billy wear?
No, I gotta let it die.
Boyce is just like an all-in-one brand.
Yeah, it's like clothing, electronics, vehicles.
Guys, just look at this
Boyce
map.
is the Costco of Elysium.
Yeah, on the back of Shade's neck, there's just an engraving BB. Like the manufacturer.
I didn't know this
Oh.
became a lore thing.
Does that mean instead of booming blade, it's bowling blade?
Oh my god.
Boyce.
Oh my god.
Boyce Blade.
No, it's Billy's blade.
Billy's Bull's Boinsing Blade. Sorry.
If you move after being struck by it, Billy appears and smacks you for 1d8 thunder damage.
If Billy ends up being the big bad of the campaign, does that mean this is Kill Bill?
Maybe.
That silence tells me.
For legal reasons, no.
The law requires that I answer no.
But you know, there may be a villain that wields a spiked chain now, so like.
Oh. He shouldn't be married to Chili. He should be married to Mandy.
We're just expanding on the Billy lore, but hell, I'll make it out.
Yes.
Okay, so for those watching, yes, this is normally how we are. Just checking in.
We look up at the clock, the fucking meeting time for Mirage has passed. It's been hours. We're just standing here.
It's been days.
We go to meet him, and he's wearing the Bulls boy. The trend spreads. That's
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, I gotta download Photoshop again, and I gotta make like a Boles Boyce logo now.
I thought you were about to say, okay, I've got to go. Goodbye.
Okay, well, on that note.
I thought he was going to say, like, I should probably continue DMing the session now.
Oh hell no! No, the session. It's
Oh yeah.
yeah. It's such a like dramatic like stream title as well, like Turmoil and Eraheim. I mean, someone's gonna click on the stream and be like, "This does not sound like Cogs of Calamity, Turmoil and Eraheim." So I was thinking about purchasing this Boys, but the problem is I'm not certain if I should just purchase out of pocket or if I should finance it.
Payment plans, man.
Crying. I can't breathe.
But can you strap it to your face?
You can strap anything to your face with enough willpower.
Oh my God. Okay, we have to start an improv team after this.
D&D basically was an improv team.
It'll be called the Boles Boyces. We already got the name.
I don't even know why I prep at this point, like really. Like I don't need
no.
it. Who needs prep? Just Boles Boyce it. Boles Boyce it up.
You don't need prep, you just need a bit. And we'll keep that bit going
Oh,
for
yeah.
4 hours.
The bit won't die. Ah. Okay. Alright, like breather. I need to drink water. I need to drink...
Hydrate.
I do actually need some water. That was...
It's too much.
The best part is I'm not even toasted. So this is me being completely sober.
Not even surprising. Alright. Okay. Like I don't even know what we're doing. I don't even know where we are.
Where are we? We're
the
trying to
shops.
find. Yeah, we were gonna get Mirage.
Yeah, we walked about like 200 feet from Billy's shop, and then shopped, and then we've been standing here till the sun went down.
Yeah, when people say that they have a shopping session, this is not typically what they mean. All right. Yeah. Dungeons and Dragons. It's difficult. Party got everything they needed from the shop. Was there anywhere else that you wanted to explore in the lower city, or heading back to Mirage?
Time to meet with Mirage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Session prep may be used today.
Maybe.
May.
We
Not
got
even
there.
All right. It's cool. Who needs to meet Darcia, right? Like, you don't need to meet her. Okay, you can head back up to Mirage's room, and it's the same process as before. If you knock on the door, it takes a minute to shift over, and then he'll let you in, and then he'll shift it over to a more secure location. As the room just completely transforms as he uses this magical key in the door.
So does that key work for any room or just this one?
It works for any door. So yes, any room.
Interesting.
But it doesn't actually
That
need
is
the
some
room to be
fascinating
attached.
technology.
So I could just remove the door from the hinges and it would work anywhere?
That is correct, yes.
Huh.
Have you ever considered replacing your shell with a series of doors?
Dear God.
It's useful because it obviously allows me to move my office to wherever I have a room. It's not the most secure thing. It's not as secure as it could be, but it's much more secure than the previous tavern room was.
So what would happen right now if someone tried to enter the tavern room where we were? Is it just empty?
Yes.
And if they stood there while we transitioned back, would we just appear?
We would walk through the door. We'd be able to walk through the door.
So they'd like see us emerge on the other side of the open door.
Correct.
Nice.
Hmm.
The room was unnecessary. The door is all that is needed.
Correct. Which does mean that you could just have a random door in a field and it would work.
Very cool.
I brought up your offer to my superior, and I was able to get financing for a mission to hunt down this wizard that you mentioned previously. We don't have the most amount of information, unfortunately, to go off of at the moment, but we can pay you decently for not only more information about for information about this wizard's organization, if he has one, as well as either his capture or death. We could slightly finance the mission, as well as pay you 75 gold for its completion.
This wizard you mentioned, is he evil?
We haven't met him, but he is slaying our agents. I do not know enough English. I do not know enough about them to say if they are good or bad, as it is a very gray situation. However, we are fighting for the freedom of Eraheim, and they are actively opposing us.
Do you think they could perhaps be an agent of the government? Do you think the government has resources like that?
It is possible. Based off what you said, it would make sense that they were working much more closer to the government than anything else. Or they could be a mercenary of some sort. But we do not have enough information about them to confirm that. That is one of the things we were actually hoping that you could confirm, is if they are a more serious issue or if they were just a mercenary.
Fair enough. You see, it's the only problem is I can't test explosives on moral grays. But I'm sure we'll find someone eventually.
From the
If we come to blows, you can blow them up. It's as simple as that.
You know, if they fire the first shot,
Test-
you know,
Or you could always test it on me. I don't think I could be.
No, I-
No,
exploding up with
you're
her.
still alive.
I would never. I would
You
never
are
do that
still
to
a
you, my dear
living
Shade.
being.
Explosives are not a pleasant thing to experience. I'm speaking firsthand here.
Oh, but they look so
I d-
pretty.
Oh, they do. They do.
I just imagined Torque going into the whole. You want to know how I got these scars?
I mean, I worked.
It's actually a
in,
very,
I
very
worked in
horrible
mining,
story.
and-
One day I was experimenting with some nitroglycerin and C4, and yeah,
It's not my first rodeo experimenting with explosives, and it's not my first time having them blow up in my face. I'll leave it at that.
Is this the first time someone has volunteered to have them?
Yes, this is the
Be
first
the
time that
guinea
someone
pig.
volunteered to be exploded.
What can I say? I am a model friend.
You are exceptional. But no, I would not test them on you.
Shade's mildly disappointed.
You'll have to take my word for it. It's not a pleasant experience. But wizard, yes. You want him dead or alive? I think I heard you say.
Yes. That
Does
is
one
correct.
pay more?
No request about how many pieces he's left in after he's demised.
Unfortunately, I can't. There's no. There was no incentive that I'm able to provide you for whether he's alive or dead. I would prefer him alive,
Okay,
so that we
you
could
prefer
possibly
him alive.
question him. But we cannot pay you any more for his survival, for his guaranteed survival.
Fair. And if he was killed, I imagine you would require proof.
If he was killed, yes.
Oh, yes, fair. Yeah, seems doable to me. I mean, this is the same wizard you guys ran into before, I think you were mentioning.
Yes.
All right, evil wizard.
That does
Guilty of
remind me. We met with the, I believe, captain of the guard. Correct me if I'm wrong, somebody. They wanted us to infiltrate your organization and report on you.
Oh, so this whole double agent thing that we talked about. Okay.
Oh yeah, we can let him know about that. Like,
Yeah. I like the rebellion more anyways. So yeah, this is good information to bring up right now. This was the plan all along.
yeah. So Mirage, they wanted us to report on you. We told them
like not revealing our information until we like figured out which side was like evil or not. And
out of character, I was thinking we relay the information that feels like it won't cause us any problems.
Hey man, it's all
Until-
cool. Out of character, I'm
Yeah.
chill with this. Torque is just confused in character.
Okay. I'm out of character, like trying to explain what my thought process was that I failed to like
It's all
explain
cool.
in
Don't need to
character.
explain to me, but in character, if you explained to Torque, he'd appreciate it.
Okay. Yeah. So the idea is,
There was
I'll
also
explain
like
it to you later.
Oh, all right. Yeah, this is the part all along.
there was also like an hour's talk of boys in between both
Yeah,
those
I mean,
conversations, so it
plans-
could have been
plans
lost in
can change
translation.
over such a long period of time.
I have no regrets.
No regrets. Absolutely
No
true.
regrets.
I mean, I wanted to work with the rebels anyways, so this is great. So yeah, what do you want us to tell the government about what you told us? How would you like us to mislead them? Because this is the new angle we have unlocked, so we can throw them off your trail, but not be too suspicious. You know, you can use this to leak in wrong information, but you got to be careful because if you leak it too wrong, you'll kill us, because they'll kill us. So we got to be careful about this.
No pressure. At the moment,
Shade
I'd
is
say that you could.
vibrating uncomfortably.
At the moment, I would say that you could share all information that I've given you with them. I haven't shared anything personal.
So you want them
Or
to know that
anything that
you're going
matters.
after the wizard, and you have sent us to go after the wizard.
If you want to share that, I don't want them to know that. But
we
it also
can.
doesn't
You're
matter
leaving it
if
in
they
our
know
hands.
that.
Okay. All right. Curious.
I haven't told you anything. I haven't told you any bit of information that can't leave this room.
The idea is that we leak information that shows that we're doing what they asked us to do, but not so much that it gives them anything like actionable, overtly actionable.
I mean, this is nice now because then when your agents see us walking directly to the guardhouse after this meeting, you're not suspicious anymore. That's great. Love that for us.
Yeah,
and
that
then
was
next time we
basically
come
the
back
reason.
here. You like put sacks over our
Disadvantage.
head and we never see the light of day again. You know that could also happen. But I'm hoping that you understand that we are completely sincere in this situation, and we could have not told you, but we chose to tell you anyways because we're the good guys and you're the good guys. Yeah.
I
And
do
we know
appreciate
that
the
because we
honesty.
flipped a coin.
I mean, you guys are the good guys, right?
As I said, I think that it's a matter of gray.
Well,
I
yeah,
would
but
like to say that I am a good guy,
oh, there you go. There you go.
but I must admit that not everyone in our faction is the nicest of people.
Oh yeah,
We
yeah. but
can't
your
all afford to
cause,
be.
the ends that justify the means. Are those at least good?
Yes.
I mean, I've heard a lot of talk about this free Eraheim, but it's a very ambiguous concept you have yet to define in my mind. Compartmentalization of information and all that aside, like what would your ideal Eraheim look like?
We're trying to remove the central city from controlling not only Eraheim, but the almost all of the arcane dominion's political power.
Okay.
We want to
And-
restore a much more natural kingdom and lordship rather than one dictator and the oligarchy below him controlling it.
So you like feudal system, but more fractured.
Yes.
Man,
Separation
you're
of
not
powers.
radical enough for me, but I guess that's good enough. Like there got to be some anarchists in there, right? Or at least a couple of like Marxists. You know, maybe a few Democratists in your organization.
There are quite a bit of anarchists, but I also think that they're much more extreme than I am.
Yeah, anarchy's a bit too far, but it's good to know there's a good spectrum. Like you guys don't really know, but you're fighting for a general cause. Like I can get behind that. All right. Change, party of change.
Make
Ooh, yeah.
Eraheim great again?
No.
I mean, they already built the wall. You can see it down here in the bottom right-hand corner of the map.
That's
So
Wait, so the campaign is just mega? I like that. That's a good campaign name.
Oh.
2024 is going to be a year.
Okay.
But yes.
That being said, we might want to weigh actually telling Garrick about the mage, because if we are actively hunting him down, and he does so happen to be an agent of the government, may not be the wisest thing to actually kill him.
Yeah, I mean, they want him captured alive anyways. And if they're not the agent of the government and they tell us, then we know more. And if they're lying, oh well. Governments do that.
I like the way you think.
What if everyone just had a chat together and nobody killed anybody?
Yeah, I remember you bringing this up yesterday, Shade, and we had a conversation about it. Unfortunately, the world doesn't tend to work that way. I'm all for the idea, but when I go out there with the olive branch, they'll kill me, and then there'll be no conversation. Of course,
I
it
didn't
depends.
know you were a pacifist, Shade.
Well, no, but lying is hard. Their
Fair.
their fists are just like clenched.
Hey, we don't have to tell any lies yet. We can tell the government everything that he said that we could tell them, which is everything he told us. So easy. It's not even hard yet. Not even hard mode. We're getting paid by 2 different people, and neither of them care if we lie to the other. Well, actually, no, the government will kill us if we tell them we're telling him anything. Remember not to tell the government that we told. Well, God, this is complicated. But it's actually quite simple. You see, forget the last 60 seconds of everything I've said. We should go tell the government things now, so they're not suspicious. Unless, of course, no, we're still in this conversation right now. Is there anything else you need to tell us before we go do that?
The
Like-
information that we do have is where the wizard might be operating out of.
Okay.
Based on where you said, did I not write down the time? Based on where Yuri, Shade, and Kailash said the train had been stopped and where the wizard had his hut located, we believe that he's operating out of Frost Peak Summit. There's a village near Frost Peak Summit that's in that foresty area that you were in, and we believe that he's operating out of there.
Would
And so
we have to
I
take
have
another train there?
arranged. Not a train, no. I've arranged for a carriage, or not a carriage, but a cart to bring you.
Can the cart be a giant ramen bowl?
No.
I knew those 5 seconds of silence before, like after I had stopped talking before anyone said anything was an issue.
Someone was cooking.
Yes, it can be a giant ramen.
Yes.
All right.
Wait, what? Okay, I'm down for it.
Sure, yeah. Like, why not? Why? It's a giant empty ramen bowl.
You've actually
Sure.
put the Boles voice in the game. I cannot believe this has happened.
I'm
And
so
the rains are noodle.
What pulls it? It's just a horse. Doesn't matter.
What's the car company with a horse logo?
I think Ferrari.
Ferrari must have.
I can't think of one. I
It's Mustang. Yeah.
Yeah, make the make one of its competitors be a Shelly Cobra.
Ooh.
A Shelly Viper. I don't know, some of the snake. All right. But no, that was it. Is that we believe that he's in Frost Peak Summit near a town name, which I will have in half a second.
I guess as like a aside, we could probably inform the government that we're going to do this so that they don't potentially like get in our way or send a tail that gets in our way.
But
If
what
he is an
about-
agent of theirs, won't they just tell him to leave before we arrive?
That's
I can't
fair.
imagine they'd give up one of their assets.
We don't have to say that we're going to look for him specifically. We could just say we're pretending to investigate on behalf of the rebellion.
Okay, I have
Okay.
a big brain idea. I'm gonna have to roll an intelligence to see if I can actually.
Aren't
I'd
you a
say-
smart
I'd say
person?
I'd say that's high enough. No, I am a smart person, but I want to make sure I was smart enough. I'm pretty sure the wizard is not working for the government, and based on what you've told me, and here's why. You mentioned there was a third party, and the people who wanted you to do stuff with the train was not the government. The government is unlikely to be hijacking their own train. Therefore, this wizard is probably working with the third party, if I had to guess. Like, this is the same wizard you mentioned from the train incident you told me about earlier, right?
Yes. Mhm.
Yeah. I am very certain that he's not working for the government, unless he's also a double agent of some kind. But we'll know in a second when we talk to the government here, probably. But I'm very certain he's not working for the government.
So like, if we do that, if we tell the government, wouldn't that like make the rebels suspicious?
Well,
No,
the rebels
because
know
they
everything
also
now.
know that we're doing that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
we
have
told the rebels that we're telling on them.
we have
Like,
Okay.
Mirage's
rebels are gonna
blessing.
tattle on you,
Okay.
just so you know.
Okay.
We'll
I'm
just be
for
giving
this.
away non-actionable details.
I'm gonna get
So we
paid
don't
for it.
tell them what we're investigating necessarily, just that they would like us to go there to investigate.
Yep.
We know that what we're going there to do. The rebellion knows what we're going to do. The government doesn't need to know that.
But remember, we need to pretend to be sneaky.
Yeah, we will be very sneaky. It's a good thing our carriage is so nondescript and inconspicuous.
Exactly. When you see a bowl of ramen with wheels, you don't think mode of transport. You think, I don't know.
No,
what you
that's
think.
the best part is when you board the bowl of ramen, a silent image is cast on it, and you just look like you're a bunch of noodles.
Exactly. They never mind. I'm just more confused now when I was at the beginning of this.
Hey man, this is technically possible indeed.
Anyways,
I'm going with it.
Mirage, if you think you've told us everything we need to know, I'm gonna go tattle on you to the government now. If it's all the same.
Understood?
Neat. Does anyone else have any questions for Mirage? That was actually a very terrifying question to ask, because now we're gonna invent like a new thing.
Potentially.
thought about
invented.
Did you have a
Life
patent on that carriage?
No, but Billy
Do you-
does. He's actually hiring. He's renting the boys' voice from the boy. I can't even. I like.
It is
my
a bit of a
brain is-
tongue
Boles
twister, isn't it?
Boils,
Boyle's
boys.
voice.
Boils.
Boil.
Bowl.
Oh, okay, that's why
boils.
it's a ramen bowl, because you boil.
Oh no! Oh no! I'm given justification.
I forgot what I was even about to say. Never mind. I forgot.
The Bulls boys.
Boys, boys.
But
there
what
we go.
about the Bulls, boys? What about it? That's...
Something about Billy, I think.
Yeah, Billy has
Billy
the
has a
patent.
patent on it.
Yeah, he's renting it from Billy or something. I don't know. I don't know anymore.
Billy's
Fair enough.
actually a time traveler.
That's why he doesn't have an image. He has to keep himself out of the history books.
Hmm.
Otherwise, people would recognize him as like the modern day president. I don't know. He's gonna be like the 80th president of the United States.
So on to the government, I guess.
If we want to go ahead and do that, yeah. We could also just say we did and move forward. Whatever Zeno and everybody else y'all would prefer.
Garrick did not
Yeah.
like say that he wanted like constant updates, so you could probably just leave without updating him.
Fair. That's an option.
So he wants information when you get information that's useful. So he knows that you're going to be working with them to some degree.
Did he say he'd pay us for every information we brought him, or just like over time, or I forget.
He'd
I
pay
think
you when
we
you
were
brought something that he
paid.
deemed useful.
Yeah.
So,
or
Not
when you
fake
did
at
something
all.
that like he
You
uh,
tried.
yeah. That's how you can tell who the like bad guys classically in video games. They don't pay you as much as the good guys.
Oh, yeah. Right.
I
Capitalism.
mean, news of the mage could be somewhat valuable to him. You know, it's
It was somebody who tried to hijack their
that being
vehicle,
said, we
so-
did already give that statement to the authorities when they came to ask us. So I'm not entirely sure.
We could
if
always
it'll
let the
be news
news
to him.
like bake a little, to use like a ramen pun here. I'll eat boil noodles when I'm talking about. Anyways, let the news boil a little bit.
Simmer.
Simmer a little bit in the broth. We could tell him that we're going to capture the mage, or we can tell him we've captured the mage. I think he likes captured more than going to
Oh,
capture
yeah.
more, so we'll get paid more
Yeah.
for captured
Mm.
rather than going to capture. I like that. I mean, we could.
So
try
you're
to
saying to cut through
and-
to the chase,
Yeah.
and
It all comes down to whether or not see when you buy a Bull's Boyce, you have to make the decision between buying it up front or buying it on financing. We have two options here. We can say, okay, we'll give you the financing plan on the information. We'll tell you we're going to capture the mage now. If you want to know when he's captured, you got to pay us again, and then we tell you. Or we just bring it all to him all at once. And I think that second idea is a better idea. We should just run out of town on this bowl of ramen, say, see you later, suckers, and go capture this mage. And then we bring back a big, more juicy ramen noodle back. And I'm trying so hard, guys. This is not working. And then
I
we
think
sell that piece of information to him instead.
Kailash
I
is just slowly going
appreciate your
cross-eyed.
attempt.
I gotta try to work with this. It's difficult, but you know what? We're going for it.
Thank you for playing straight to my stupid cat.
I bring Torque on. I build like this whole tragic backstory about how he's fighting against the company and fighting for freedom because you know what? My previous character I thought was like not serious enough. And then we go right into it, and then it's Billy and Boyces and ramen bowls with wheels. So it's working. But at least I got my explosives, so we're good. It's chill.
Well, not yet.
Okay,
You
not yet.
will.
I will.
Oh, don't worry, we'll have a blast.
I'll be sure to manufacture them while we are bouncing along in what I'm sure is the very smooth ride of the ramen bowls with wheels.
Of course. Well, see, the thing is that the boys. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. It's actually a tensor's floating disk that just floats along, so it's actually very steady.
Exactly.
Oh, the wheels are just an aesthetic choice. I see.
Yes. Yeah, the wheels are just there. They
Yeah,
don't
that's part
actually
of the
need them.
sound image.
Yeah.
It's a hybrid spellcraft device.
Well, I suppose if we're not going to talk to the government, we may as well be off then.
Ride into the sunset.
Can I pull the carriage? I don't think soup is good for my wires.
It's not real soup. It's an illusion.
What?
Don't let it brother you.
Oh my god. That was a visceral reaction from
Yeah,
me.
I'll tell
I'm
you what. I'll
so
tell you what.
glad I'm not the only one to experience this anymore.
I know that the illusion. So you know how some like streamers like once you get like a certain like sub count or whatever, they'll do a hot tub stream. Obviously, we're not going to do that. But if things turn out and we keep using, if this ramen bowl with wheels is actually going to be the way we move around for the rest of the game, I will modify it so instead of a soup like illusion, we can actually be like in a hot tub as we're like being transported around. Because I think that's kind of hype. But anyways,
That would be pretty cool.
I will draw us all in a giant soup bowl. If I have to.
oh god, I forgot we have an artist among us.
Oh.
It's over.
I have power.
Oh my god. Here's something more he just said.
Let's go.
Oh.
We actually have.
Theo, she did it.
We need to put this in an attachment so we can show Twitch what we're cooking. Literally.
Yeah.
Quick, Zeno, make a head.
The
All right,
vision, you know?
I'm working on it. This masterpiece has to be seen. Image
This is
like
the the second session where we stop so that Zeno can make something new and arbitrary.
That's
I mean,
important.
very important.
See, people are like, oh, D&D is about fighting monsters and like saving people. It's like,
Nah.
no.
Nah.
D&D.
It's about Billy and Boyson.
Well, D&D is
D&D.
now B&B. Let's be real.
Oh, I could have just
Oh, hell yeah.
I could have done that
Uh,
so much easier by just making it a handout, but like I just put an image on OBS and it is now the size of the screen.
Dibs on being the egg.
I'll now get it into an actual handout so that it doesn't just cover the entire screen. There we go.
It's complete with the logo and everything. I love it.
That is great.
Thank
Mysterious
you.
note.
Thank you, Maury, for that.
Mysterious note.
Isn't
Well, this is actually, guys, this is actually a strategy.
Well-
So everyone remembers the Trojan horse, right? Well, this is the Trojan bowls of ramen. We roll
The
up to this
Trojan
wizard,
ramen.
and we summon him out of his abode with the illusion of ramen, and then we jump him. It's actually a part of our plan. There's a method to the madness all along.
Oh my goodness.
it works on multiple levels.
Yes.
I love this so much.
Thank you for making this. Thank you so much. This is now like that needs to go somewhere. Let's just
Forever.
leave it. Yeah, I'll just leave it up on Roll20. So like just Oh, it's actually like
come and go for
comically
the stream and just
large.
be like, why are there just
Yes,
two
exactly.
floating bowls of ramen on screen? Wait, why do they
Don't
have
ask questions.
wheels?
This is why you guys got to tune in for every session every week. Because if you
Yes.
don't, you're not going to understand what's happening.
You gotta
Important
check
No
the
one's going to be able
VOD.
to help you.
Honestly, I feel like forget every session. You need to be here for every second because it's like those things when you
Every
look away
second.
for a second and you come back and you've no idea what's going on.
Did we do that to each other in this session? I feel like we did.
No
Yeah.
water breaks.
So,
An ad's gonna play, and then people are gonna come back, and then it's gonna sound like an entirely different campaign.
Yes.
about 10 minutes of roleplay and 3 hours of improv. That's how we do it.
That's what it's like at Elysium. Okay. Okay.
On to Snowhaven,
It's difficult. Yes.
or at least the
party.
road to Snowhaven.
Yes. All right. Okay. It will take more than one day, even being pulled by cart, to get there. What I'm wondering is like, do you want to just basically go through the night? Do you want to take? Do you just want to camp out for the night when it is getting dark? What is your guys' plan?
Well, our options are camp or get an inn, right?
Is there a
it-
place? I guess there is a couple of places along the way to, depending on the route we take.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm not exactly rolling in dough, as they say.
If the carriage
I would
itself is
s-
comfortable, can we not ride through the night and sleep in the ramen bowl?
You'd have to take shifts on who's driving, but yes, you could do that.
Ah.
Seems fair.
I have
But just let me
never
know when there's a
driven.
second for me to make checks about explosives because that could change our arrival date.
He puts the
This is a
nitro in the
prototype.
broth.
Next stop, Tartarus. Let's go.
This is a prototype torque, don't blow it up.
In the 9 rings of hell. Well, now it is.
To answer the question, I would say that like doing it in the cart torque is not a good idea, mostly just because you don't have like all the parts set up that you need to. You need to like set up a little like spot where you could actually set up and like make like a mini lab, and you just don't think that you could do that in a bowl of ramen.
I might do that then the evening before we depart. How long will it take me? It depends. Like if it takes me like a long time, then no. But
I'd say skill check. No, I won't take you very long. You could do it as a small time activity, I'd say.
okay, cool. Yeah, I'll in that case I'll do it right before we leave or right after we arrive.
Okay, make a tool skill check for artificer tools or whatever they're called that I don't remember.
Tool skill check. How?
Right tool for the job.
I thought
I
that
don't
was
actually
just...
know if that's the name of the feature.
I think it is.
No, yeah,
Yeah,
there's
if
a,
you,
there's a feature like that allows me to like make a tool if I don't have it, but it like takes an hour. It's
So if you
interesting.
look at your character sheet, Chris, on the bottom left, right underneath skills, it'll say tools, proficiencies, and custom skills. Just go ahead and make a alchemist check.
Yep, I do have it. Attribute. I wanted to use strength. It's crazy. Intelligence.
Ooh.
Okay, all right, a 19. Okay, let me make a little handout for this.
I have a
Okay,
request since we're
19.
on a food theme. Can it be shaped like dinosaur nuggies?
Dino nuggies.
You're making me hungry, TK.
I know. What the hell?
Don't you want some dynamite?
Oh my.
No. I think you killed Oddish.
All right, I need a be right back scene for the stream.
I'm on a roll today. I guess a bowl today.
Uh,
Well, the bowls are on a roll. But, anyway.
I'm leaving. It's been great.
I'm back.
okay.
Sounds so despondent.
I don't know if I'm gonna survive the night.
Oh my. Oh.
Is there a reason not to like make all the bombs and roll for all of them now? Is it like dangerous to have too many prepped?
I mean,
Why
technically,
can't
yeah.
I hold all these
Well,
bombs?
I mean, Chris, it's just this. If a bomb prematurely goes off, then so do the other ones. That's the risk. It's just that. So if that's not a big risk to you, then like, no sweat. That's just the question.
Huh.
You just have to make them 5 miles apart each, and then there's no risk.
I will do just one more then. I think I can survive 2. I don't think I can survive 5. So I'll make another check.
All right, you rolled high, so like roll again.
I thought I clicked on it, but it didn't go through. I'll try. Oh no, here we go. I need to select my attribute again. God.
How close are the rest of us when he's making this?
My hubris. Can I say I had enough intelligence not to like set the completed bomb right next to the one I was working on?
Can you? Well, that'd be a kind thing, wouldn't it? Here's the question. Like, I'll let you make a check for that. Like, make an investigation check to see like if you had that thought or if you were just too excited to. It was just Christmas Day and you really wanted to open it.
Oh God, please. Oh, let's go.
Oh,
Okay. All right.
please.
Okay, so it's a wind down. Everybody's looking at Torque just like fiddling with this bomb, and then you hear the following outcome. So this is how we're going to do bombs. I will roll a 1d4. That determines the size. 1 is 5 feet, 2 is 10 feet, 3 is 15 feet, 4 is 20 feet.
Oh god, 20 feet. Okay, 10 feet.
Okay.
It's a 10-foot radius. Then we will roll for damage. We will roll, 1d4 with 1, 2, 3, or 4 d6. So you take 2d6 fire damage, which is 9 total. And that is how we are going to do bombs that roll a 1.
Hey, now we know how it works.
You're all chilling, you're all vibing. Torque is just fiddling with his bomb. And then he just explodes.
Boom.
Now, are we caught in that explosion, or is it just
Only
a
if you're
torque thing?
standing like right over my shoulder.
It's
at the work.
just
Okay.
Torque for this time.
It's just
Okay.
Oh boy.
I'm all right. I'm all right. I'll just cough up
We
this.
really
smoke,
need
like,
to get
wave it
you a
out.
blast shield, my friend.
Remove a few pieces of shrapnel from my face.
So the
That-
first D4 was feet. The second D4 was the number of D6s.
Correct.
Okay, cool.
So if he rolled a 4 and then a 4, it would have been 20 feet radius and 46
I have a question.
with the
How
saving
much
throw, but he
nitro
doesn't
do we
make a
have
saving throw
left?
because he was making it.
Does
What
the,
if I just fly up with a whole shit ton of nitro and then drop it?
Why would you do this?
I think it actually has to be made to like deal damage.
Okay.
Just
yeah,
become a
I guess I'm
cluster
arming
bomber?
bombs
Yeah.
with these checks.
Because
Damn it.
otherwise, it's basically throwing a lot of powder, or it's like the thing where like flour can technically cause like minor explosions, but it's not real
Okay,
explosions.
what if
So
I
Here we go.
drop it and then I shoot a fireball?
I still don't think that it like. I don't think that would cause it to explode, because otherwise it wouldn't be something that like doctors regularly hand out.
Yeah, but it's like a lot of it, you know?
Guys.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
All right, I'm gonna try to make another bomb.
Yeah.
Also, quick.
Would you like the help action? Can I mage hand him the help action?
Close.
Can I mage
on
hand him
second
the
thought,
help
wait a minute,
action?
that would require me to be within touch range. Mage hand. Like, you thought better of it real
The
quick.
plan was always mage hand.
Yes,
Do you
cool.
have proficiency with alchemist
It'll be
tools,
alchemist
TK?
supplies.
Oh, I have proficiency with nothing.
Oh, I would say that you could give him guidance, I believe, then, because you have guidance.
Oh yeah, guidance. I'll take it.
I do not.
I do.
Someone has guidance.
I'm not a
Alright.
divine soul
Shade got me.
anymore.
Shade got me. All right,
Okay.
here we go.
Yuri changed his bloodline between sessions,
Watch
and
me
I
just
didn't,
like
I didn't
kill
remember.
myself.
No, the I was divine prior to Eraheim, and I'm no longer divine post
Mhm.
Eraheim.
Not bad, not
All right,
bad.
that is a
Nice.
nice
Oh,
guidance.
okay.
That's a 17.
Sick.
Okay, you very meticulously build this second one. Bomb 3.
I was gonna name
a
it bomb 2 because
17.
bomb 2 was gone, but this really is bomb 3. You're right.
Yeah, you will live with this shame.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny that the second one, the one that
Does a 19 bomb
it was
go off
just-
like better than a 17 bomb, or is it just a pass fail?
It's more effective, yeah.
Oh, sick. All right. Cool. I have a really effective and a slightly less effective, but still pretty effective bomb. All right. Yeah, that's it for me. Just bomb 1 and bomb 3. Bomb 2 never happened. We don't talk about bomb 2. All right. Ready to roll.
Literally, yes. Let's go.
Let's blow this taco stand.
Let's blow
right.
this joint. Oh wait, we just did.
Okay. Who is taking first watch to basically drive the cart along forward?
I'll
I-
drive
Would love.
unless I need a
to-
proficiency.
You don't know. You just got to be awake and to lead the horse in the correct direction.
I have proficiency in land vehicles.
Oh, then
Okay.
Does that
I
give
I
us like
don't
a
know what that
giant
means for this
ramen bowl?
specifically.
Counts
would-
as a land vehicle. Oh, why
Uh,
not?
Having proficiency would mean that you have proficiency in any skill check involved in like controlling, driving, or manipulating a land vehicle, because you're not making one of those skill checks, because like you're not trying to get the horses to run from something, you're just walking down a road. It's not necessary.
Got it.
But basically, if you were like, oh, we got to whip up the horses into a frenzy because there's like wolves or
Yeah, I'm
a
the
goblin
getaway
raiding
driver,
party,
basically.
yeah, you are the getaway driver to the Fast and Furious movie that Torque is about to create. So who was taking first watch? Who was taking second watch?
I can take first watch. I do need a rest at some point, but I can take first watch while the rest of you.
I will deactivate in that case.
I can take whatever
Okay.
watch, but getting a long rest in it would be nice to overcome blowing myself up. So I can do it again tomorrow.
You can you all still get a long rest. I'm just wondering who's awake during what what rest
I don't know if
periods.
you're taking second watch yet. I can take it. If not, I'll take third or whatever.
I think you only need,
Shade,
like,
when you
I will fill
deactivate, do
whatever
your
blank you
eyes
need.
just stop glowing entirely?
okay.
I believe so. Or maybe they turn like a different color, like one of
Ooh.
those night lights that like just sort of like, does the rainbow effect.
Do you make a noise too?
Just
The Windows XP noise.
sorry, I didn't catch that.
Shut up, Siri.
Okay. All right. So I think it was Kailash taking first, Yuri Torque taking second.
I will fill in whatever gap needs to be filled.
Okay, all right.
Like a 1d2.
I don't like
That's
the look
interesting.
of that.
What? No, it's fine.
Random encounter dice.
As Kailash is leading the I forgot how it's pronounced, the ramen bowl, I suppose.
The Boles boys.
Yeah, the Boles boys. As you're leading it on, I need you to make a perception check.
All right. Perception is okay.
Okay. About halfway into like your designated watch, you notice this mysterious ghost-like figure that seems to have been following you. You're not certain how long it's been trailing you, but it has been for maybe the last 5 minutes at minimum. It's maybe 300 feet away from the ramen bowl, and it doesn't seem to be approaching, it's just following.
Can I gently like whip the reins to make them go a little bit quicker to see if he matches pace or it matches pace?
You can, and it does.
This is halfway into like 4 hours into the 4 hours ish, right?
You're about 3 hours into your watch, so about an hour more until like the party would be awake.
Okay. If it isn't actively doing something, I will let the party rest for the time being because I know they need their beauty sleep.
Okay.
But if it gets any closer, like at all, then I will wake people.
Okay. It seems to try to maintain the speed that you're going at. It doesn't seem to be any interested in getting any closer. And you can get to the transitionary watch phase with it mostly just following. It doesn't seem to have any interest except to just tag along almost.
So who's taking next shift?
Yuri and Torque.
Okay, yeah, so I just pointed out, guys, I don't really know what it means, but we do seem to have a bit of a tail. He's been there for many, many hours now, but he's just kind of hanging out, really.
Well, as long as he's not attacking us, I'm kind of chill. If he's chill, I'm chill.
He does seem chill. I wanted to wake you guys up, but I figured you guys needed your sleep, and he wasn't really... I mean, he looks intimidating, but maybe he's friendly, who knows?
Could I make could I make a nature check to determine if it's good or evil?
Yes, you can make a nature check. Nature,
Mostly
insight, but you can make a
nature.
nature check.
They're both 0, so it's fine. Yeah, he seems cool.
Is this before or after we've completed the long rest?
It's in the long rest.
So if I cast a spell, I don't get a long rest.
That would be correct. That would be breaking your long rest.
Yeah. I guess I'll just make me. What do you say? Is an insight?
Well, can you cast a spell without it breaking long? I think that breaks
I
long
think
rest.
you need a certain amount of like uninterrupted rest, and that's usually like 6 out of the 8 hours. Because you could do like 2 hours of light activity or something.
It varies.
You know what?
Resting rules are interesting.
Yeah, it's definitely not like concrete or anything.
Okay, how I think I want to rule it is that as long as there's not something that like really interrupts the rest, you can cast the spell. It'll just take in effect your refreshed spell slots. So you have to have the spell slot before taking the long rest, and then it will affect your after long rest spell slot. But as long as like you don't actually do something that like shocks you out of long rest, you can cast something, whether it's find familiar or create food and water.
Not bad. Yeah, I'll just keep an eye on him, I guess. I think he's chill.
Okay. Fair ruling.
Yeah, fair.
Very fair ruling.
The meme got better.
Well, if anything happens, let me know. I'm going to take a nap now.
How do you make these so fast, TK?
Oh, I didn't. That was my wife.
Oh, nice.
The professional meme maker.
In fact, I feel like that is deserving of a gift.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Shade is just like playing ambient sounds.
Just
You just hear a dial-up tone while she's sleeping.
This is called relaxation.
Plays elevator music.
Yo, Summer Samba is good. Don't at me.
Mental thought. Breaking. Okay. Yep. Kailash can head off to. What? Sorry.
Are we allowed to rest cast?
No, what he just said wasn't rest casting. So he said if you cast a spell, it will take a spell slot from before and after your rest, specifically to like answer rest casting, which is the idea you can use your spell slot before your long rest for something that affects you after your long rest. I think. Correct me if I'm wrong on that.
I think I get what you're saying. I was asking in like the context of like I can cast a spell that lasts for like over 8 hours. Could I cast that with my existing spell slots just prior to the long rest, and then recover my spell slot?
Like animate dead before you take a long rest because it has a duration of 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Or like an extended aid or something.
But like a lot of people, Yeah.
Or what?
Like if you cast like mage armor though, it would run out like by the time you got up. But you'd still have the armor while you were asleep, I guess, so it's still useful.
And that's why I'm a sorcerer and I have extended spell once I'm level 3 in sorcery.
Oh. Techie.
Yeah. Oh, I guess that is a
Ah.
question I should ask you now rather than later.
Hmm?
Would you be willing to allow extended spell to stack on itself or one per casting? Because that changes my strats.
I'd probably have to look that up, honestly.
I think as
spell.
written, it can be like interpreted to work either way, but I don't think it's intended to let you stack.
I mean, I would say that I would probably allow it because it puts a maximum duration in it. Like you can't,
Yeah.
you can double its duration to a maximum duration of 24 hours.
Right.
So
and like the interpretation there is like, does that mean I can double it repeatedly until it hits that max, or does it just means double it and the maximum it can be doubled to is 24? You could read it either way, but that is your call.
Yeah, I'd want to say that you could double it with your maximum being 24 hours, but you can double it up to 24 hours.
So
like,
like
I think that's
an hour could be made into 2, then 4, then 8.
Yeah, that's how I would read it.
Okay, solid. So if I have enough points, I can do the thing. That's cool.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thorlock shenanigans.
Yeah.
Kailash does his long rest. The Wraith does follow, and Yuri and Tort can see it. Up until dawn, when the light comes back over from the sun, the Wraith vanishes and stops trailing you. But the party can all gains the benefits of a long rest, and you are just approaching Snowhaven.
All right.
Well, did anything eventful happen?
There's a wraith following us, but disappeared as soon as the sun came up. So
Oh,
seems like that problem has handled itself. Probably.
I wonder if we were in its turf.
Maybe. I don't know. But it seems chill, so we were chill, and then no problem.
Unless it's a spy wraith.
And now that you've said that it won't ever be a problem again, I'm sure that will be the case.
Indeed.
That's how that works. Anyway, let's move on.
We have arrived at Snowhaven. Let us look for a wizard. I've actually never seen him before. What does he look like?
Well, to be fair, I don't think none of us, other
Ah.
than Yuri, got too close of
Yeah.
a look, right? Because we just saw him running from a cabin, but Yuri kind of got to see him a little up closer, didn't you?
Yeah. I inspected him for like to check his wound, and yeah, I'll give a description of what he looked like.
You can give
and I will also show the blade. Like, if this reacts, somebody dangerous is definitely nearby. Might not be the wizard, because, well, yeah.
It glows blue when a plot effect is nearby. When a plot hook
It
is nearby.
pierces plot armor.
Nice.
You all ride into Snowhaven in style. You're not high up on the mountain, but it is kind of chilly, and the attire of the locals kind of reflect that. They all watch you as you arrive in town. They're doing random tasks, and they don't stop necessarily, but they all are just watching you as you enter. Like, down to the children playing on the playground, to the oldest of the eldest grandmas that are reading stories to their children. Everyone's watching you. And you get this very uncanny valley feeling, almost.
Other than the
Are they-
uncanny valley feeling, Torque likes it here because he likes the temperature. He's from a frozen island, not a tropical island. He likes the cold. Sorry, go ahead.
Can we do any sort of checks to see whether they're staring at us because we've arrived in a giant ramen bowl or because of other reasons?
It is. They're staring at you for a different reason. You think that the ramen bowl has no consequence to them.
I see. Okay.
They're actually staring at the fake mustache that I put on my face with minor illusion.
Such a great
It all makes
disguise.
sense now.
Can I make a check to see which of the starers would be most receptive to having a conversation with me? Like,
Make
least
a
likely to
make
be
a
bad.
nature check, I guess, or an insight check. It's technically an insight check, but you can make a nature check. It's either or, you know.
Okay, can I make an animal handling check to deal with the kids?
No, that's not good. I
Uh,
don't have any idea.
Yeah, they all of them seem pretty unfriendly.
Hmm. I will choose one at random. No, I'll choose someone who looks like they're an adult that aren't busy.
Okay, you can go over to someone that doesn't look like they're doing much. Yeah, as you get out of the ramen bowl and start walking over, you immediately get intercepted by somebody that you did not see when you were originally like counting out who to go talk to. She actually does look quite friendly. She's the only person that does in this town. She has pretty pale skin, dark red hair. She's dressed in this very elegant, like red and black suit. Almost like they're a business person, some sort of noble. They spend a lot of money on their dry cleaning. You know that, though.
They just learn prestidigitation.
That don't give their secrets out to the common folk. Don't.
My, aren't you eager?
Well,
That was
welcome
nothing
on
to
in. I didn't think we'd have visitors. What are you
And we
doing
didn't
up
think
here
you'd
in the
be
mountain? Sorry?
Sorry?
You. Speak.
Oh, me. Yeah, we didn't even know we'd be visiting until a day ago. But it's certainly a pleasure meeting you.
A lot of people say that. Not a lot of people mean it. But hey, I'm glad to meet you all. Welcome to Snowhaven. Like, sorry, like, ignore them. They don't like visitors. We don't get a lot of them. They're not used to them. What brings you up here?
I will never blame someone for not liking visitors. We are looking for a wizard. I'm not one for subtleties, so I'll just come out swinging.
Don't have a lot of mages up here. Not a lot that make it known, at least.
Maybe they'll make it easier to find him. Maybe it won't.
Maybe. My name's Darcia. I'm not, like, a noble. A lot of people think that I am. I'm not. Swears. But I do run a local business. So that's actually why
Dry
I
cleaning?
presumed that you were here. Turns out you're not, unfortunately.
What might that be?
I'm a host to an event. Every month we host an event where a couple adventurers come up and, you know, they act in it and, like, gets good money from the town folk. It has some good tourists. It's a good tourist attraction. People haven't come as much recently, but it's still pretty popular with the locals.
I thought the locals didn't like visitors.
They don't, but it's a lot easier to convince someone to go along with what you want when you're providing good entertainment, warm food, you know. You're coming in at a rough time, not a good time.
I see. What in particular makes it rough?
Cold winter.
More cold than other years, then?
You'd be surprised.
I see.
If we did want to
The-
pursue any leads in terms of this mage, do you have any advice, any places we could start, any people we could talk to?
I mean, you could head on over to the tavern. That's where most people would go to. Do you know if he's a local?
Most likely not.
Yeah, I'd imagine the tavern then. It's where all
Can I get her description of the guy?
Can you give her the description of the guy? Yeah. I think I actually know who you're talking about, but I wouldn't trust that description anymore. See, the reason why I actually recognize them is because they're a bit of a shapeshifter.
Changeling or a master of disguise self?
Not certain, to be honest. I'm not as magical savvy as I would prefer to be, so I can't tell the difference. All I know is that they can change their face on a whim.
So you do know of this person, then. How would we go about finding them? You seem to be somewhat acquainted with them.
You see an unusual face. Maybe follow them a bit. That's all.
And where did you follow this face to?
Tell you what, I need help. You clearly sound like you need help. We could scratch each other's backs.
I mean, you can't scratch mine. I'll tap my giant metallic shell, but I'll be happy to participate in this arrangement. I think it would work well for me.
Shade reaches
Metaphorically.
over to try and scratch her back.
You have to forgive our friend. They don't speak sarcasm very well.
It wasn't sarcasm. It was a metaphor.
It's a figure of speech. I have attempted to explain this to you at least 4 times.
We're quite the group of characters. But hey, you're sounding like you're trying to put on some entertainment, so I think we're exactly what you're looking for.
Yeah, I mentioned I run a game show, right?
A game show?
A game show. It's a grand old time.
I love game shows.
Well, that's great. That's what I want your all help with. As I mentioned, some adventurers come in every month. We hire a couple adventurers. We put them on in the game show. They put on a good show. Crowd loves them. We'll pay them. I get paid. You'll get paid. The crowd's happy. You'll be warmed up to the town folk. And I'll give you the information that you're looking for. Or at least all of it
Now
that I
here's
have.
my question. Do we have to sign a waiver?
No, there's no waiver that's legally
Okay.
binding up here in the mountains anyways.
Does
And
this
what does
game
this-
show have a high risk of mortality?
That's exactly what I was asking. Thank you, Torque.
I wouldn't necessarily say it as a high risk of mortality, but there's a reason we get adventurers and not random people off the street.
Well, why don't you explain to us the rules of this game show? What does it entail? Is it a trivia-based game show? Is it more of a stabby-stabby type game show?
I actually run 2 game shows. 2 of them. One of them's quite friendly. The other one, which is what I would be like recruiting you for first, that's our much more popular one, is an escape room. Basically, a bunch of people will put you into a house, and a bunch of people will watch you as you struggle or potentially not struggle to get out of this house.
No
What happens
casting
if you
allowed.
fail to escape?
Oh no, magic is highly requested if you are capable of it. It makes for a better show.
So we must destroy the house from the inside out.
That
I
is-
don't think that's what they're saying.
Actually, that's a very valid question. Does our means of escape matter?
No. The one, I mean, I technically, to win the show, your objective is to get out. You might have other objectives because there's treasure in the house that you are incentivized to go collect. But that's just if you want extra reward. If you just want to get out of the house, then that could be your only goal, is to get out.
Is
And-
this house trapped?
Yes.
Are there monsters?
I suppose that depends on what you mean by monsters. But
Are we
yes,
going to open a chest and then lose an arm?
no, the chests aren't trapped. There are traps,
Oh.
but chests aren't trapped.
No mimics. Oh well.
I don't recall
mimics
saying
don't have to
that.
be chests. Mimics could be other things like doors and wardrobes.
Oh, I'm really hoping this is what I think it is.
No, sign me up. You know what? You've convinced me.
How many adventurers of yours have actually made it out of this house before?
A lot.
A lot.
See,
You were about to say a
quite a
few.
substantial amount of time.
You weren't asking the question I would hope that you were going to ask, which is how often do people win the show? Which is very common. Every time we run it, somebody wins.
Right, but is the winner you as the host?
Well, I always win, but no, they're competitor
so-
wins.
You
But
gotta
the
remember,
thing
they
is
said,
there may be some fatalities along the way. Not every adventuring party wins. But a few of the competitors will.
You're being very candid about this, aren't you?
Well, I think prepping you would make for a better show.
I mean, to be fair, if she lied to us and we survived, we might end up, not
I mean, that
being
is
too
true.
happy with her. So it makes sense, to be honest.
Games are fun.
It does bring into question, though. It is funny, if a villain explains their entire plan to you beforehand, does that make... Because we're willing to go with this just because she told us exactly what was going on. It's not nefarious because we know.
Yeah. Pretty
I
much.
think the term villain's a bit
We are
harsh.
willingly walking into a death trap. At that
No,
point,
but,
it's
like-
not really her fault.
Think about this. There's actually very little difference between this quote-unquote escape room and a dungeon full of traps. There's a room with treasure. You have to escape. I mean, this
Yes,
is just a
we
dungeon in
also-
disguise.
We also know that going into it and are generally being told what to expect.
Fair.
Whereas when you're sent into a dungeon, it's usually, yeah, it's dangerous. People died. Go down there and get this thing that we won and come back and try not to die in the process. Or we're going to have to send another person. In this case, they probably want somebody to win. So,
The
probably
commoners,
designed not to be terrible,
the locals
just
don't like.
entertaining.
Yeah, the locals don't like it when nobody wins.
No, so there we go. There's probably some amount of safety measures in place. Not enough to actually keep us safe, but at least somebody will survive.
Well, you said the locals don't like
we
it when
don't
nobody
intend.
wins.
Or sorry, what?
You said the locals don't like it when nobody wins. Am I to understand that if we all come out of this alive, we won't be very well liked?
It depends on how well of a show you put on. If you just go for the exit immediately, then like people won't think the show's great. But if you like fight for treasure and brave the perils of the house, then they would prefer if all of you got out. People like an underdog story. That's the thing.
Not wrong.
You really aren't wrong. I see no reason why not to go into this house now.
I just have one last thing to add, Darcia, if you don't mind.
Please?
You seem like quite the entrepreneur. Well connected, influential in the town.
People know
Stop
me.
me if those are incorrect. This wizard we're looking for, very important for us, but not as important for me personally. I come from a rather small island that is seeking allies in a fight against a company. I don't know if you could be of any assistance there, but I don't know.
You're asking if I can be a great asset.
I'm hoping if you can help prevent us from sharing that fate again of being great assets, or if you know anything about a company, if I provided you a description later. This is potentially one of their trade routes. I came over this mountain pass when I was coming from the islands on my way to Eraheim, after all. So It's a possibility.
I could potentially make some sort of a mutually beneficial agreement like that.
Nope, sign me up then. That was my last reservation.
If you survive the house, could be a good idea.
If I'm
Are
treated
you
in this
okay with
way.
your house potentially blowing up?
Oh, please.
Okay,
could
Dork,
use a
I think we're
tax
good.
write-off.
The tax write.
I like this lady.
You wouldn't happen to have a workshop anywhere nearby that we could use to prepare, would you?
We have an armory. Yeah, I suppose it might be a
Okay,
workshop.
brilliant. Let's give them a hell of a show.
When
Make
do
this-
we enter?
Make this one a real
As
blast.
soon as I can get people's attention, whenever it's convenient for you.
Do you have lodging for us in the meantime? Is this something that will happen today, tomorrow? When do you want us to do this?
Tonight would be best, I suppose.
Tonight is best.
Tonight sounds good.
That sounds great then. She summons Greg, which is just one of the locals, I suppose, who can deliver you
Here
to
we
an
go.
armory and show you
Greg.
around the town. It's like, if you need anything, she points over to a building which looks like an office. It's like, that's where I'm at most of the time. It's where you'll find me for the rest of today. Just yeah, come by tonight. We can get you situated in the house, and I'll start marketing it.
Did any of the previous victors of this house stick around that we could like talk to, like for veterans advice? Or they all leave afterwards?
No, they're all gone.
Convenient.
Note how she did not say leave. She just said gone.
Ooh. But yeah, I'm ready to go.
Thank you for the gifted sub, TK.
Yeah.
Thank you also for the hydrate. That is a very good idea if anybody has not drinking a glass of water recently. I don't know, technically the hydrate's just like a command for me to hydrate, but if you guys want to get glasses of water as well, it's a good idea.
Yeah, I'll go grab a glass of water. I'll be right back.
I like water. Water is tasty.
Water is.
Water
That's
is tasty, but you know what's tastier? Nitroglycerin. Buy some from your local pharmacy today.
Caution, may cause explosive diarrhea.
Oh boy.
Countered by Pepto-Bismol. That's what the enemies will have. The enemies will have Pepto-Bismol that they'll throw, which counters the dynamite. Because that makes sense.
Attack of the antacids.
Oh man, imagine. It's like a rebel faction named the Antacids.
Yo, badass.
All right, Chris did get
Government
up,
got you
but,
down. Does your heart burn for justice? Join the Antacids. Throw the government. Also cure nausea.
Mild side effects include.
Ooh. But
Communism.
Greg, I suppose his name is Greg. Greg is cool. Greg's a cool guy. He's a guy. Like
Real
Billy,
G.
but not Billy.
Nobody could be Billy.
Yes. He can show you around the town. There is they do look like they actually have a setup for adventures that's currently vacant. That you can either that you can basically operate out of. Excuse me. As well as an
search?
armory nearby, some shops.
Could I search that setup for severed hands?
Or
Wow.
make an investigation check. What even would be the odds?
15.
Of like, are you looking for actual severed hands or just like severed gauntlets and things like that?
So my intention was to look for like actual severed hands to see if like there's any signs of lethal wounds and stuff that are like they couldn't even be bothered to clean up.
That's actually a fair
But
point.
I will settle for for another some more hands.
You get some evidence that, like, yeah, there have been some lethal deaths here. There is a small graveyard behind this building. There's some unclean, dried blood. You do see a couple of bones. To some creature, you're not entirely certain what. They might be humanoid. No, they're definitely humanoid. They're just not human. Forgot.
Concerning.
Is it though? She was very, very explicit about people not making it out of this alive.
Yeah, but usually you still at least try to keep the places you house your contestants clean. I don't know. I'm keeping these bones just in case.
Just in case of what?
In case I need to throw them as bait to like an animal that's chasing us or something.
Oh, fair. In case
You
a
can attach
werewolf
the bone
hunts
to
it.
the end of my arrow, and then I will have some bony arrows.
Who knows what you'll find in the House of Horrors?
If they mess with us, they'll be boned.
The horrors persist, but so do we.
I can just imagine Shade saying that quietly from the back.
Yeah,
It's the most
just
terrifying.
whispering.
In like the most HAL 9000 voice.
Sorry. All right. Does anybody else have anything preparatory that they want to do? I know that like the party recently shopped at Eraheim, but you do have some downtime that you can either look around or prepare for the coming conflict.
I think
Which
I
is
have all
this
the
house.
explosives I want to have prepped on me at any one moment for safety reasons. So
Maximum.
Well,
3
she did say
bombs.
she was willing to give us information, but do you want to do any snooping around of our own? Perhaps go to the tavern and talk to some people, and I don't know. Do you want to lean on her entirely, or do you want to make some inroads of our own?
The wizard might.
It would be wise for us to
might just be
investigate
there.
ourselves.
I think it will be easier to make our own inroads after we participate in this as well. It'll help get our name out and
That is
potentially
true.
break the ice with the locals.
I suppose we just rest until we're called upon then.
The calm before the
Alright.
storm.
All right. I'm thinking that that's probably where we'll call the session for tonight. Then, if that works with you guys.
Yeah?
What a cliffhanger!
With the party escaping the House of Horrors next time.
Excellent.
Can you imagine next session what the bit we're gonna create, and this local audience is just gonna be staring at us like this is the worst
The
fucking show
Hell
I've ever watched.
Yeah,
We're
that
going
would
all
be great.
Final Fantasy
Bye.
7 up in this bitch.
Bob Barker, sponsored by Boles Boys.
Oh, yep. Next session, you guys are gonna get sponsored. You gotta pick out a
Let's go.
sponsor. Thanks. All right, yeah. Thank you all so much for playing today. Thank you everyone who dropped by stream. As well. Thank you, Rhea, for telling us that Discord was not being picked up in OBS, because otherwise that would have been this would have been a very tragic session to lose. That would have been very sad. Like, I honestly couldn't tell you what happened, but it was great. I'll rewatch the VOD while uploading it and be like, what the hell is this?
We rode the Super Bowl into Snowhaven.
The Super Bowl, TK.
So that's using your Noodle Ash.
I'm still obsessed that about the title of the campaign is just Turmoil. Really, really, it should be Super Bowl, presented by Boles Boys.
Yeah, it'll that may be what it is inevitably. Like, we may
Next
just
session,
become
Cena's
that.
gonna give it a wacky title. It's gonna be like this
And we're
whole
gonna have
thing, and then
a
we're gonna
big
play it
heartfelt-
completely straight.
Yeah. We're gonna trauma bond in the haunted house, and it's
That's all right. I'm gonna rate us out.
alright.
Yeah. Thank you all for showing up to the stream.
Thank you for
GG's,
DMing.
everyone. Thank you for DMing. Thank you for tolerating my puns and